Last night my dad walked by my room and he was like, "Lou, you're right. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I heard a loud bang. No. And as he said that, down my arm, I felt this thing. Well, I thought I was having a stroke, right? It's this thing, just like brushing down my arm, and I was like, what on earth? Brushed it off, right? And then, about 20 seconds later, this thing was going over my face like this, right? Not quite as big, it was going over my face, and I was like, brushing it off. I was like, what? And I turned my light on. This is literally the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. Like, the body and everything of it was like really big body. It wasn't this big, I won't lie to you, but it was the biggest spider I've ever seen in my house. And the legs, it was walking really slowly, and I was like, that was my face!
So what was the bang?
Oh, I don't know, but like, it was
landed
fake. Yeah, he landed on me. That was what it was. If he didn't wake me up, I would have died.
So your dad's bit's just an unrelated coincidence.
Yeah, but
that makes it weirder, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
what's the bang, and then all of a sudden you got a spider in your face.
It'd be a weird story if I was like, oh, I just slept last night. Nothing happened. Right. My tummy hurt this morning. I think I might have swallowed a spider. Or I got a tickle in my nose and there's just a spider laying its eggs in me. But no, the weird thing was that he woke me up and then there's a spider on my face.
Wait, you were asleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody hell. That's mad, that, right?
Crazy.
I've got a better story for next week.
I hope so.
Nonetheless.
Please.
No, I enjoyed your story, mate. I don't know if they owned it, but...
Guzzler Podcast.
So today we are talking about like health, mind and body, stuff like that. So the first thing I should really ask is...
First of all.
What we're drinking this week?
Yeah, what we're drinking.
Before you carry on, sorry.
What we're drinking? My wine this week is a Merlot called the Original JP Chenet. It's from France. I don't particularly like Merlots, but I'm doing this for your entertainment, not mine. I'll review it later.
Yeah, and then we're drinking another niche little gem, Budweiser.
Yeah, niche. We will be getting. We have got onto that. Our next video there's a very niche beer. It's just these were in the fridge. We like
King of beers,
and
it's apparently the most expensive. They say
per mil.
They say it's the most expensive. Brewed in the UK. Anyway,
I thought it was an American beer.
I just read the bottle, mate.
Alright, fair enough. Sorry, Declan. As you were saying.
So today we are doing like health, mind and body. So health is very subjective to people. So I'll ask each of you individually. To you, what would someone or yourself, as an ideal version of yourself, do or see yourself as being healthy?
So I will just point out that you if you haven't seen the first episode or the episode 0, you're a personal trainer, and you do a lot of mind and body and meditation and stuff like that, right? So, what was your question? How do I see my health?
So, if you were the ideal version of yourself,
yes.
What do you mean if?
All right, you're the ideal version of yourself. What sort of behaviours or things that you do would you define as being healthy?
Right, you go first. Louis.
So I've got to say what I think I do is healthy. I can't change anything.
No, what would you do?
In your perfect self, what would you do?
To be honest, all I want is more hours in the day. To be honest with you, because I want to stay up later, but when I get up earlier, but then I'll get like 3 hours sleep. That's the perfect.
That's it.
That's
the
it.
only
That
thing.
is
That's
it.
it.
In your head, that would make you. You'd be the healthiest specimen
ever.
Right.
No. So my perfect. All right. So to be fair, I wouldn't mind being able to run. I can't run.
Right.
Not medical reason.
You can't.
I physically can't.
He's staying in that chair.
I live it.
We've just moved him about.
No, it's I would like to be able to run. I can't run very far or fast.
Right.
Anything like that. It's not the fast that bothers me.
Yeah.
I can't run. Is what bothers me.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to do that, but I will be honest with you, it doesn't bother me that much because I'm pretty happy doing what I do. However, if I did say that, I would do that. When I'm older, I would like to try out vegetarianism. Not for any reason. I just want to see if I could physically do it because I like meat.
Mm-hmm.
To give myself a literal task.
Yeah, it is a challenge.
Exactly. Like I'd like to try vegan, but I can tell you now, it won't happen. I like cheese and milk, but I would like to give myself that task. I feel like I'm quite a strong-minded person, but I'm not strong-minded enough to go for a run. So not that strong-minded, I imagine.
Right. Okay.
I would also like to be. I'd like to do like learn to meditate and all that stuff. I'm a quite calm person. I'm quite like things don't bother me at all. But I think that's probably the next step in that.
Right.
So I don't know what the perfect version of Louis is.
Right.
You might meditate.
I might meditate.
He
I might
can
go.
run.
I might
He's
go
just running.
vegetarian one day.
He's Forrest Gump.
I think, but when you're going to say things, I'm going to go, oh yeah.
No, I have nothing to say.
Oh.
I guess, yeah, I mean, I'm not fit.
Don't be yourself down.
It's a well-kept secret.
I'm glad you said it.
It's,
Because one of us had to. No.
you wouldn't think looking at me that I'm not a fit man. No, you would. If they're not watching the video version, they have no idea what I look like. So I'm 6'7". I'm
Six-pack.
Yeah.
Stop and drink there.
So I mean, like, obviously the episode's called Body and Mind for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of perfect self, it's not it's not just like that's why
That's
you
good
that's
point.
why
That-
you
yes,
spoke about.
That's a good point.
That is why you spoke about diet though, and you mentioned meditation and
Yeah.
stuff like that because it's not
it's
just
mind.
my thing. Isn't just I want to exercise more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to exercise more, but it's not just that would make me a better me. It's trying to find the right balance between exercise and social life and all that sort of stuff that you have your own podcast, which might be worth mentioning, I think, to people, which is called The Mindful Monologue.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Which side? You should probably plug that now. Where can you find Mindful Monologue?
Everywhere but
Tesco's.
videos. Yeah. So like
everywhere videos.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere.
Exactly. So it's like you're discussing that where you need to sort of. There's a lot of different aspects.
Yeah.
For you to be your best self. I don't really know what best self means, but I guess it's like a sort of personal venture.
I think that the health and well-being. My qualifications are in like stress management and mental health and well-being and stuff. Well-being is very personal to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm very happy. We always say we're very happy people. Like I consider myself like we said the other day. Like I don't particularly get sad or upset. I will point out I cry every single film ever, but not because I'm.
Yes.
I'm very happy in myself.
That's empathy. That's not.
It's like I'm very happy in myself, and I can't think of anything that would make me. I don't want that to seem boastful at all. I don't want that to seem like.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything that would make. I'm not saying I'm the happiest person on the planet. I'm just saying I can't think of anything that I would have to do or change to make me. Like I said, I would like to meditate, but that's just simply because I would like to be more like meditated.
Right.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
That's the thing when you mention that your mental health's okay though. People can think you're being a bit boastful or something, but it's kind of the mental health's fragile.
It is.
And you can be absolutely fine for your entire life, and then all of a sudden, it's gone. So like, I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging because I've done nothing to it. I wouldn't say I've made any life changes to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just very, very fortunate that I'm okay.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
someone who's in good physical health and hasn't got any problems is fortunate. It's not a brag to say I haven't had cancer or I haven't had this or something. It's just lucky and it's good and it's something you can be happy about.
And to say you've got good mental health shouldn't be a brag because everyone wants good mental health.
Yeah.
But like, I also don't mean to dumb this down at all. But like, when someone is like severely depressed and all that stuff, like all they want is to be happy and good. And I don't mean just happy like happy. I mean like to actually be well and happy. They're not yearning for more upset.
So I guess the interest is in terms of you now.
Yeah.
What is your? Because you're a very fit man.
Yes.
Yeah, right, good. I'm glad you agree.
No.
You're a very, very fit guy. You obviously work out a lot
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So what's your next thing? Like ours is basically just we're not healthy, really.
Yeah. So there's 6 ways we can look at health, and I'll talk about this in my podcast. So the first is physical health, which we've already talked about, and that's basically just diet and exercise.
Yeah.
Then we go on to mental health, but mental health is really hard because you can't define it.
And everyone's is different.
You say yours is good.
Exactly, that's the
But
thing.
we can't define good mental health.
Yeah, exactly.
We can define bad mental health.
Yeah.
But we can't define good.
And what it would take to make someone's mental health better wouldn't take someone.
No,
every
it's
person is
so
different.
incredibly, intricately subjective.
Yes.
So it's not like exercise where it's like if you exercise you're going to be better physical health wise. Mental health, there's no one solution.
Yes, because mental health goes off of experience, and since if you put on weight, all you've got to do is go into a calorie deficit to lose it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go through bad experiences, you can't reverse the effects of them.
No.
You can change your mindset of what happened to them.
Yeah.
Or change your outlook of them, but that doesn't change what happened. They're still in your experiences.
Like one person can talk about experience when not for myself, but when I spoke to people about mental health. you can give one person a journal and be like, write down all your feelings, and by the time they finish that journal, like 2-3 months time, they could be like, I feel a lot better. I can write down my feelings. I feel like I'm talking to someone. I feel better. You give someone else a journal, and they make a paper airplane of it, because they'll be like, this is no. Oh, that's an exaggeration. I'm saying that is no use to what is no use to one person.
I hate that stuff.
So could be so good to someone else.
But in terms, say someone's really, really overweight and they are big and they lose that weight and they get like stretch marks and stuff, that's kind of similar in the regards of they've managed to lose that weight, but there's still something there, and they could still be very insecure in themselves.
Yeah,
because they might have preferred it when, say, they were like overweight for like their entire life and they just lived with that, and then they thought, no, I need to change that, I need to get healthy. But there were stretch marks. They might be like, well, accepting myself.
A lot of loose skin.
Yeah, I accepted myself when I was overweight, but now I can't be seen because.
But then that's mental health, because stretch marks don't indicate anything unhealthy.
No.
So in terms physically, if you put on the weight, you can lose it. Nothing happens. It might leave stretch marks, but they're not an indicator of physical health.
No.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Where emotional health, you can't ignore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. I was going to say that someone can be really like underweight and put on weight, so they get stretch marks as well. But that could indicate being really healthy.
I got stretch marks when I started lifting, and yet I'm still really healthy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But that comes with the idea that body image, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on with your.
So from emotional health, you then go to social, and that's just about forming good relationships.
Yeah.
And it's not only being able to form good relationships, but maintain them.
Yes.
And they're like the big 3 pillars of what you could define as physical and mental health, right? From there's external factors that affect them. So we have occupational health and financial health. So what you do to make money, does it fulfill you? Is it purposeful? Does it help people? Then you have financial health. Does that job pay you a decent amount of money? And do you spend that money stupidly?
I think with financial health, it's called financial health, right?
Yeah.
I think with that though is that when you're growing up, especially getting school and stuff like that, you are like, I very much remember our deputy head at one point telling us, my children will not have a job. And I was
they'll
like,
have a career.
Yeah, they'll have a career. Yeah. When actually, for their children to buy their clothes, people need a job, because people need to work in these shops and things. But also, a job can be a career. You could start off as literally like the bottom of the shop, and you could end up being like a manager of that, which is your career. You've gone down a path. But also, as I've got older, I've realised that actually everyone wants money, of course. But if I'm enjoying my job and I'm enjoying my life, then money is subjective.
Money matters less.
Exactly.
So wait, what was it? It was financial and occupational.
Yeah.
So obviously they're like inextricably linked. Like they are conjoined.
Yeah.
But I think it's one that people really struggle to get the balance right.
Yeah.
So ever since I was in school, I've always said I would always prioritise enjoying my job over the money, as long as the money's enough
to live by.
So what percent of people do you think choose a job for the money compared to what the actual job is?
See, I'd say.
Do you know the answer to this? I'm not going to say it, and you're going to go, I don't know.
I do know the answer.
Okay, so
one of the not as much as we'd think.
I don't know what you think. So
that's
what I said.
So you're saying that who would choose over money?
Yeah. So how many people do you think, like the percentage of people that are in the job because of what it pays?
I'd say between 65 and 70%.
I was going to say about 60%. Yeah.
So it's over 70%.
Yeah, that's high. Right? That's high.
So how many people now do you think are in a job because they enjoy it?
About like 20.
Below.
Really?
Below 20. So people that genuinely pick jobs over careers, but that doesn't.
And this is what I'm saying to you. I think people get the balance very wrong.
Yes.
I think money's not going to make you happy.
No.
The amount of time you spend at work is incredibly significant.
Yeah.
It's not a small portion of your life. It's not like you're at work a bit and then you get a lot of money and you can enjoy yourself.
It's
you're at work
a
lot. Yeah. You need to enjoy work.
Yeah. But then I think that people, when we talk about jobs or careers, we tend to think about working for someone else or working for ourselves. Right? So I tend to see like working in a shop as a job, where what I do is a career. Yeah.
So I've always viewed career as, I think the way that our deputy head said it.
I see career as there's a clear progression.
Yeah.
But you can have that in a job, which is the thing.
But a lot of people don't, because you associate it with like students.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you associate a job with a part-time thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I saw someone who wasn't under the age of 20 in Tesco, I'd see that as their career. But if I saw someone under the age of 20, I'd see it as a job.
It's a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
When I
Yeah?
left school, I was rather unsure what to do. I got a job, and I would never have gone up in that job because I didn't want to commit. I was very happy with my job. I didn't want to commit to that
You're
job.
saying if you wanted that to be a career,
Oh, yeah, I would have kept going.
it could have been a career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't
Which is
want
basically
it
what
to
you're
be.
saying.
Yeah.
And then, like, with my job, and I would say now that I probably have a career because I probably want to stay in the field that I want to do now. I'm in somewhere where I'm happy.
Yeah.
But yet, I'm not on a. I'm on a good wage. I'm on a very happy wage. Like the stuff that I've done on my wage, I have been to a lot of places like holidays, and I'm never like going. I haven't got any money. Admittedly, at my current wage, I probably couldn't. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I could afford a house and still be fine, still be able to afford those holidays and things like that. But I'm happy and I'm secure. There's not a point where I'm going. I haven't got any money to like.
So what I tend to ask people is, looking ahead, can you see yourself in the job that you're in until you retire? Now, I wouldn't ask you that because if you said something, there's...
Do you mean career path or actual? Or like job path, or do you mean actual job?
Job path. So say, Alfie,
Yes.
say you worked at a school, could you see yourself just as a teacher in that school for the rest of your life? Or just as a teacher?
Yeah, but that's not the career path I'm going for.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'd ask someone.
So I'd say probably not.
Right.
I probably couldn't see myself being... Like, I'm going into teaching, but I
Yeah.
probably couldn't see myself being just a teacher. But I wouldn't dislike it if I was.
Right, okay.
You know, I wouldn't hate my life or
No,
anything.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't started yet. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
But at the moment, if there was any chance I thought that I could get stuck in teaching and I couldn't leave, I wouldn't have done it.
Right, okay.
Because that's how I choose my life in general.
The thing about teaching is, if you have someone who every single year gets a new job,
Mm-hmm.
right, and 50 years from now, you look at their CV, they've had 50 jobs every single year,
Mm.
you'd go, well, chances are you're going to leave this job at the end of this year. I don't
Can't
really hire
commit to
you.
anything,
Yeah. But in teaching, it's just sort of the given. Like they won't stay at that same school. And if you had someone who like was a good teacher, they were at different schools, you would still hire them because they're a teacher, because they go, well, teachers just move around. And I find that very strange. Teachers, it's socially acceptable just to move around as a teacher from job to job. No one stays in the school for a particular amount of time. But yeah, if it's just a job, it's always like, why aren't you staying in your job for so long?
Right.
Like,
Okay. Yeah. So where I'm at, the only thing that would improve my life right now is greater financial health.
Right.
I love my job. I'm physically fit. I'm emotionally fit. But having that more money would make the difference.
But
you know what I mean?
you're making choices around that
Yes.
because you know that that's a thing you need.
Yeah.
You
And
want to
my
improve.
career progression, so what I'm going into next, is the same sort of industry, but I'm expanding. So
Exactly.
I need the money to do that. But that's the only thing I'd change.
yeah.
Yeah?
When things I want to do, I love going on holiday. I very much love going on holiday. And genuinely, if my long-term happiness, if you was like, you're going to stay in that job now forever,
Yeah.
you're not going to leave, and I went, but can I afford to go on holiday every year, go abroad and go to different places? And he was like, yes. And I'd be like, well, I think that's okay because I like going on holiday. It's not still living at home. I mean, if I've got my house, I've got that. But if I can afford to go on holiday every year, like abroad and stuff, which is what I like to do, in my eyes, I'm like, that's okay because there's always something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And at the point where you can afford to go on holiday, you're not skimping 1 month. You're going, we don't have much food this month because we're going to try and get a holiday.
Yeah.
So if you can afford a holiday, for me, I'm not saying for everyone, everyone's financial is different. Like some person might earn a lot of money, but their outgoings are like insane. So like, but I understand if he was like, you're going to stay in your job forever now, but you can afford to go on a holiday each year. I'll be like, well, okay, that's fine because at least I've got something to look forward to, and that's what I like doing. That's just, I don't spend much during the year, not because I'm tired from that, but because I don't buy much on clothes or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
like,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So after occupational and financial,
Yeah.
there's intellectual wellness, which is about basically just broadening the mind,
Yeah.
right? So would you put that on your list of things that you defined as a healthy person to do? Like read every day, try and learn something new, expand. It may not even necessarily be for their job, but just go away and learn something new. Would you
So there was some actually I wrote down to talk about, not in this podcast,
Right.
in one in the future, which is the difference between clever, intelligent, and smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, in my English at school, my English was fine. It wasn't great, but I got a B. Like it was good enough. Everything like that. But all your other subjects are sort of centered around the fact if you can write, if your English is good and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think there's the idea of like people judging their smartness. Is that smartness a word? How smart you are, I should say.
Yeah.
How smart you are based on your academic subjects. When in terms of general knowledge and common sense,
Yeah.
we could talk in this podcast. For example, I could talk for hours. And I could talk to someone, have such an intelligent conversation for a whole weekend and talk lots and lots and lots. But if you was like, let's talk about the psychology syllabus or like a history syllabus, I'd be like, or let's all talk about the English syllabus and metaphors and all these different things. I'd be like, well, and if you told me to write an essay on it, I'd be like, well, I can't write the essay for you, but I can tell you the information verbally, which is there where it's different. I do think that people should learn a lot more than they do. I constantly read, whether it's in news, things online, books. I constantly read. I would like to learn another language. I think it's very ignorant. A lot of people who are British, because a lot of our countries come over here and they learn our language, and we don't particularly learn anyone else's language. It's quite a famous thing that English don't learn anyone else's language. I would like to learn that. There's a lot. There's not. I'm not going to name drop about like people I know, but like there's people who I'm close to that I know for sure that they would like to read more and do things like that.
In terms of like the syllabus and stuff though, so like you don't remember the syllabus perfectly.
No.
But surely the point of the syllabus isn't necessarily for you to remember it, but to just practice.
Yeah, see,
remembering stuff and making arguments and stringing together points and being able to articulate your points. And the fact that you can articulate your points at all in this podcast is due to that sort of stuff.
What I think I went off.
It's like transferable skills more than the actual definitive knowledge and stuff you learn. Like you remember stuff from school.
Yeah, what I think
that's less important.
Was that if me now, exactly the same me, but I got like, if I'd failed all my exams,
yes,
I would still be me. I would still be this smart intelligent. Maybe I just didn't care about my exams.
Yeah, but you still went through that process.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying people might, if you go, I got used in all my exams, people will judge you by going, well, you're not smart, clever. When actually, just because someone has revised phrases and they can write really good English, you might be smarter than them.
But that's because you've objectively measured your intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's easier for them to understand an objective measure than.
Yeah,
so we could sit here and talk for. We could probably talk for 24 hours about a specific topic, but if you put us in an exam, that's objectively measuring it. Yeah. We may know more than the exam asks us, but we can't prove it because it's an objective measure.
And there's kind of a necessity for objective measures, although they are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like exams, I think exams aren't great.
They're not ideal.
But you do need some form to easily. You can't sit down and talk to someone for 5 hours to perfectly gauge their intelligence and all that sort of stuff. You need some sort of you need something.
I know that we will talk about education in a process. I know we will. But I was gonna say I think people should read more.
Right.
I don't think this might be a guess. I don't think people will read as much now as what they used to.
No, I don't know if that's true or not. To be fair though, like if someone's watching something, or there's other ways to be. I'd say, we, especially with social media and stuff like that, people are probably more aware of stuff now than they ever have been.
100%.
Whereas in the past, in order to Black Lives Matter is happening at the moment quite significantly, which is obviously a good thing, and people are sharing stuff and they're talking about it, and discussions are happening. Whatever side you're on, although most people on Twitter are on one side, luckily. Whatever side, people are still learning and talking, which wasn't happening before.
Yeah.
Because they know that platform.
So it's easier now for people to learn than it ever has been, I think.
But I just like I love reading books, and I think that okay.
Personally, the intellectual side of wellness is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read stuff every single day. And I message Louis about non-fiction and stuff like that. We're always talking about different stuff, and we always talk about different stuff and stuff like that. And my friendships and my friends I particularly like because I know that I can have meaningful conversation. We don't just talk about like what we had for dinner or like girls and stuff like that. Like obviously there's an aspect of that in every friendship, but I know that I can have some sort of, and that's important for me. I don't necessarily think it's pivotal for everyone.
No,
but if not as well, you can out of people I know that you can educate them. I don't mean educate in the sense that Twitter means educate. If they're like, oh, what does that mean? You could be like, oh, there's this story, this happened, this happened. Like, oh, and they can ask you questions about that. I don't mean when someone gets on Twitter and goes, let me educate you. I don't mean that.
Also, by meaningful conversation, I don't mean to sound like my conversation is more worth having than anyone else's.
Yeah.
Or that my friends are intelligent and we're all really smart and stuff. But like, we talk about stuff and we read and we share and stuff like that. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Was there anything else after that?
Yeah, after intellectual comes spiritual.
Okay.
So spiritual health is just filling in the gaps of whatever's left for your happiness.
So this is
vague
not important to me at all.
So this is very vague. Yeah.
So what sort of stuff would you put into that bracket? For not necessarily for you, but just for people in general, how do you think people fill those holes?
So I said, so when you say spirituality, you always think about religion and things like that.
Right.
And I see religion as a spiritual tool for that sector of or dimension of wellness. And it's, when I say filling in the gaps, literally filling in the gaps. And like I said to you the other day, science can tell us how we got here, but it can't tell us why. You said you don't need a why. So that's your gap filled.
Yeah.
But for some people, that's not enough.
Okay, well, I don't care. But yeah.
So the spiritual wellness and looking further is what some people need to fill in the last little gaps. And like an afterlife, when people are scared to die, so they don't live.
Yeah, exactly. So someone can be perfectly happy, they've got everything balanced, they're all sorted and stuff, but they're terrified of death.
Yeah.
Or they're terrified of why bad things are happening in the world and why this is, and they're terrified of like maybe the fact that there's no destiny or just little stuff like that. The grand questions.
Yeah.
Right. I understand.
Right, so mine is about spirituality, but mine slightly goes off wellness. I'm going to say these things and you're like, well, you just shouldn't do that, which is correct. You shouldn't do that. But when you said fill those gaps, people will often fill those gaps, especially when it gets linked with fame, especially people who are young and they get fame. They can't find their next hype or can't find the next thing that's going to make them happy. Especially singers, like when they first got on tour, they're like, oh my god, I'm on tour, I'm singing to thousands of people. 5 years later they go, well, I liked that, but now where do I go now? So it turns out cocaine and heroin and stuff like that. And that is like, that's their fix. That is filling their gap. Is that spiritual?
No, that's emotional.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they get emotionally attached to a particular lifestyle.
Okay.
Or, so when we're happy and stuff like that, all the chemical things that's going on in our brain, like dopamine, even neurotransmitters down to endocannabinoids, they're all flowing in like...
Endocannabinoids?
Yeah.
Interesting word.
Yeah.
What's it mean?
So they're like neurotransmitters in the brain.
Okay.
And they have a lot of functions in terms of like heat regulation, all our involuntary stuff.
Okay.
But they also...
Which is what I'm about to do.
Really?
They also play a part in our sort of mental mindset. So you'll notice the word cannabinoid,
right,
as in cannabis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So in cannabis, there is a phytocannabinoid, which is very similar to what's already in our brain.
Right.
So when we smoke it, that just...
Yeah, I know that like when DMT and stuff, it's here. You just don't always unlock it. You need to like... Yeah.
So that's what cannabinoids do.
Okay.
So when we're happy, everything's in full flow. Body's working beautifully, everything works. Then we don't have that. Something changes and we need to fill that gap.
Okay.
So that's emotional wellness, not spiritual. Right. Yeah, so now that we've spoke about the 6, it's important that we balance them, right?
Yes.
Because that plays a massive part in it. So, like a bodybuilder will be incredibly physically fit. And I mean crazy. Really low body fat. They'll eat perfectly. However, they're more than likely going to be body dysmorphic.
Right.
And they're probably going to have an obsessive disorder when it comes to their food.
Yeah.
So that knocks their mental health out.
Right.
Okay. Someone who's really obsessed with their mental health is probably going to be in a mental hospital. Okay. Someone who is overly invested in their social health, so they're going out all the time, probably isn't going to work out a lot because they're drinking beer and seeing their mates. and they're not going to be taking enough time for themselves.
Yeah.
Someone who's prioritised their job could spend 60 hours at work, but then not have a social life. Yeah. But they might be earning a lot.
But they can't spend that money, that's the thing. Yeah.
Or they're in a bad job.
Yeah.
So they're on great money, but they hate their job.
Yeah.
Intellectually, they're comfortable, but they're not learning anything. Nothing new comes in, right? There's nothing fresh.
Yeah.
And spiritually, they're just all over the shop. So that will put everything else out of balance. Okay? So the idea of balance is not delving into each of them excessively. Yeah. And that plays probably the biggest part in terms of your health when it comes to these factors of wellness.
So you just balance them, you just make sure that all of them are...
yeah. So when we talked about earlier, when I said, what would your ideal person look like?
Yes.
Some of all of those things.
You wouldn't fall into some of those things. And that's not to say that you wouldn't be healthy, because you could be perfect. But when you looked at it objectively...
Yeah, you mean you could be perfect to yourself.
You, yeah. But then you could see it that way for mental patients in a hospital. They wouldn't take any notice. They could think that they're perfect. But to a doctor...
Yeah.
Something very different. And this is it, because it is very, very hard and very individual to find health. So what I want to do for my job is to help people find what their ideal is.
Do you think you're unbalanced?
Yeah.
Right.
Physically, emotionally, socially, I'm great. Occupation.
I thought you was listing just all of them. I was like...
I'm super unfit, I don't eat well. No. So the only one I'd probably drop out of is financial.
Okay, alright. Well, that's not so bad, because that's okay, because you can work to that.
I can work to that.
Which you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not that bothered. However, I do work a lot of hours.
You do work a lot of hours, yeah.
However,
you do work a lot of hours, but you still manage to see all of your friends.
Yeah.
Once, if not twice a week, which is more than a lot of people will see their friends.
So I'll still work between 70 and 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
And for those of you that's shouting like labour laws, I'm self-employed. Just to put that out there, no one's making me work that long. But sometimes my sleep takes a hit.
Right.
Okay. And also what you just said about
what does sleep fall into? Physical health.
Yeah. You do 78 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had a point. 78 hours. Isn't that your obsession though? That you're obsessed with work, which then isn't a good health thing, because you're the one who's choosing to work 78 hours when your contract is 78 hours. You're the one choosing to do 78 hours. So doesn't that...
No, because I balance it.
Okay, no, fair enough.
Yeah. So someone who would work as long as me, but then not see their friends, not look after themselves physically, they'd get themselves into a very dark place. And this is what I'm talking about, balance. You've got to find a way to make it all work.
Yeah, definitely.
I will quickly point out as well, actually, so I don't know when this will happen, but we're doing a podcast series called In Conversation With, which we're going to talk to Declan more about, more so about health and
specifically about what you do.
Yeah,
I think
it's interview you about. We just want to know more things. It's a very interesting topic. Well, we could talk about this for incredible amounts of time. We've dipped slightly into each of these topics when we could talk far more. And maybe we will in our extra. Maybe we will go over each and every one of them in more detail because there's a lot that we can talk about. Is there anything else that you would like to say before I add in a point?
No, you.
We can keep talking. There is no. If we've got stuff, we can just keep talking.
No,
I'm saying you're. How would you class yourself? You're vegetarian.
I'm plant-based.
What is plant-based? For those who don't know what plant-based is. I know it's plant-based. What is plant-based?
So it's as far as you can avoid meat products.
Okay.
But it's not strict like vegetarian, vegan.
Okay. Do you eat cheese?
Those occasionally.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll eat fish, but it's rare.
Right.
Okay. So you try as hard as you can, but if you want to, you eat it.
Yeah. Okay. But what I find a lot about that is there's a lot of mistruths. There's a lot of myths about vegan vegetarianism because everyone says it's healthier and it's not.
This is my next question. What is vegetarianism good?
No.
Because I know a lot of vegans, right?
But
it's not healthier.
It's not. No.
Okay. I know a lot of vegans who are like 50 and they're about 24. because I feel like it makes you look younger.
I guess there's no science behind it.
You're 63, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 Right. My other one.
Would you go vegetarian or vegan?
So I would like to try out. Not for any health benefit, not for any craze. I would say vegetarianism is quite a craze at the moment. It's quite a thing. People want to be vegetarian or want to be vegan, and it's turned a craze. But like every January, there is very much this juice-based diet. Like,
but that's the thing, because it's culture.
Yeah, exactly. When I would like to try it, but I would like to try it more as a personal challenge, because I don't know if I could. Like, I can have a meal.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I can have a meal with no meat. Ideally, I want meat.
Yeah.
So I often eat meals without meat.
Yeah.
Especially at uni, because I don't really buy meat.
Yeah.
Because it's quite expensive, and I know I don't need it.
Right.
If I make pasta or something, I'll just have like 5 or 6 different types of veg.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some
Exactly.
sauce.
Yeah.
I don't need meat.
And I like
that.
Yeah, I like fajitas. I like mixing food, and you can easily do that with just onions, peppers.
And it's
like,
amazing. It's
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, because you spice it up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I could do it, but I would like to do it as a 30-day challenge. I would like to be like, you can't do that stuff.
Right.
And I would like to try vegan, but I reckon if I tried vegan, is that veganism a word?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once I tried veganism, after 30 days, I would be crying my eyes out. There's no way I could go without milk or cheese.
So I went fully vegan for about 3 months, and I guess I enjoyed it for the change, to experience what it's like, but I didn't like it. It's good to have the variety, and you do physically have to eat something different for every meal.
Yeah.
So incredibly limited.
Yeah.
And like vegan food, like fake meats, are more expensive than normal meats.
I like corn. I like corn, but
corn's nice.
they are
so expensive.
But that's one of those things where when it becomes more of a norm, the price goes down.
Yeah.
And a lot more people are putting funding in to find stuff that tastes like meat.
Yeah.
It's another thing where it needs to be commercial. It needs to be proven to be commercially viable. Just like electric cars or something like that. It needs to be proven to be commercially viable before people put money into it. Yeah. Which is kind of sad in many ways.
It is, yeah.
But I think a lot of aspects of it bleed into our life anyway. Mm-hmm. So I've never actually tried to be vegan or vegetarian. But because a lot of people talk about it and they talk about the benefits and stuff, I have cut down meat. Like I say at uni, I don't really eat meat. I don't drink milk anymore at all. I never ever have milk. Maybe like in a dish or something, but I don't have it cereal or I don't have it in a coffee or anything like that. I've never made any conscious effort towards that. If I wanted milk, I'd have milk, but I have cut down on that stuff. Yeah. Just because there's such a rhetoric around it and such a conversation.
I don't really eat crisps or like biscuits anymore, but not because I'm trying not to. I just go, well, so you need it, so that's fine.
Right.
My thing was when you had meat for the first time after being completely vegan for like 3 months. Yeah. What was it like having meat for the first time? Because the reason I'm saying is I know someone who's been vegetarian for 5 years. Yeah. Ordered a takeaway just before a takeaway shut. Ordered a halloumi burger. We got to the house, bit into it, and it was chicken. Burger. Yeah. Right. Really? And they spat out those, and they were like sick. They could not believe it. And my mum went vegetarian only for like 3 months. Yeah. She was going from holiday. She saw some cows running and was like, "Oh, okay, I'm not going to eat meat anymore." And I remember when she wasn't feeling very well. She was like, "I do actually think I need meat. I think I need like some more protein." So she had some meat, and she was like, "I don't know." Like the idea of it to her was like, "This is like flesh." Right. So I just wondered to you like how it was like.
So I haven't had meat yet.
Oh.
I've had fish, but I haven't had meat.
Okay.
Does the idea you went straight from vegan to plant based?
Yeah. So
or was there other some sort of?
I went straight to vegan, and then I went from vegan to vegetarian, and then that and plant based were basically the same thing. But I just allowed myself some extras like fish.
Right. Okay. So does the idea of meat to you, does that sort of like...
No, because and this is the next point I was going to get to. It's the reason you go vegan vegetarian. So mine was environment, because like when it comes to ethical veganism, yes, I have my own opinions on it. In terms of I don't believe in ethical veganism.
Right. So yours was never a repulsion to me anyway.
Right. Ideally, if meat could be made sustainably, yes, and we didn't have to cut down half the Amazon, I would eat steak. Yes. But it can't. So until it can, I want to stay away from it.
Okay. I agree with you. The only reason I ever would cut down meat at all is to do with that side of things, not to do with ethical veganism personally.
Yeah. But the culture behind it is so incredibly judgmental. Yeah. That it's
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like vegans, or you could go vegan, and have honey, and they'd shout you out for not being a vegan.
Same with avocado as well, because avocado is like it's something to do with avocado, the way it's like made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But-
should have looked it up.
But the community is so incredibly judgmental
Yes.
that I don't see how people get a kick out of telling other people that they're vegan because it's not ideal.
Okay.
Like in terms of health wise, veganism is nowhere near.
We need to wrap up in a second, but you said something to me the other day. This is a joke.
Right. Is this what I've written on my card?
What have you written? No.
Oh.
I
need to say that one. I need to say this one before we finish. No, you say yours first.
My thing was to do with when you said about the chickens in cages and stuff.
Okay.
This is just hilarious.
So, when you get adverts for eggs, for McDonald's, for chickens, everything like that, right? And it's like we've given our chickens a really, really good life, right? We've had healthy chickens, right, for you to eat, right? Why do you want to eat a healthy chicken? Because if you've got a healthy chicken, right, really living their life, and you kill them, right? Surely you want your chickens to be unhappy, so when you kill them, they're like, well, I wanted that, to be fair.
What Louis wants, basically...
I get the point. You want like a depressed chicken.
He wants chickens that are suicidal.
Suicidal, yeah.
So he hasn't got to do anything.
Don't mind.
Like, I wash my hands with it.
They
kill themselves.
Yeah, there's farmers out there going, our chickens are great, right? We've got theme parks in this farm. It's amazing. They're living their best life, right? They're amazing, right? And they're lovely, right? And then you just you kill them, right? They go, well, they're well happy. You just slaughtered them, right? Or you got these other ones, right? They're living under a bridge. They're like, oh Jesus, right? Like, you kill them. They're like, thank God. They got an incinerator bin in the middle. They're like, thank God. They're roasting rats on a spit over it.
He's watched too much Chicken Run.
Yeah.
And they're just thinking,
are you alright?
Oh, thank God.
However,
right?
but
genuinely, wouldn't you rather have an unhappy chicken?
If you were being raised to be meat, what would you prefer?
If I knew,
would you rather have a terrible, terrible, terrible life, so just purely for the sake of you want to die at the end?
Yes.
Or would you rather be happy but then die? Because you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah, nah. But if I was,
I don't know if chickens have this much autonomy. I don't know if they even have this much of a capacity to process.
Yeah, but
it.
if they did, right? So you were conscious. You were a conscious chicken.
Right.
You were told at birth when you hatched out the egg.
Okay, all right.
You're being raised to be killed and fed to a higher life.
How long does a chicken roughly live for before it gets slaughtered?
God knows.
Not a clue. Look, it's not long. Is it like 6 months or something?
Oh,
ain't very long at all.
I thought it was really short.
Well, fine. At that point, I'd be like, yeah, send me to the theme park. Like, I want to have a good life then.
Yeah, but
I don't know. This is a tough one. What would you say?
I'd rather have a good life. If I'm going to die to be meat anyway.
Also, I don't know if they're having a good life because you said I don't think they've got that amount of capacity in their mind.
I don't think they do.
Yeah,
however,
I'm not going to bite into a chicken burger. But like, this one was unhappy. But this burger.
What I'm saying is they'll know that they have a bad time. Like they'll know that they're in cages and they're suffering.
Yeah.
But they won't be. I don't think they have the capacity to think this could be better. I could be in a field right now. And I don't think they have the imagination.
So this is where I'm gonna sort of ruin your day a little bit.
This might be the worst argument about ethical veganism that's ever happened on the internet.
None of this, when they go, it's free range eggs and stuff like that, is regulated.
What do you mean?
None of it's.
They can just say it.
They can just say it.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily be true. When they say free range eggs, they have to have spent a certain amount of time in pasture throughout their entire life.
Right.
And it's not very long. So for the most part, they leave them on pasture for a few days.
And then they whack
them in a cage.
Yeah. You now just turned everyone else vegan.
Sorry guys. But that's how it works. Like when they say grass-fed steak or grass-fed beef, they only have to be fed up until the last 150 days of their life on grass.
Oh, really?
And then they're fed on corn to bulk them up. Yeah. But in that 150 days, it changes the meat enough that it doesn't make a difference.
Oh,
to get pure, unless they say we are a pure grass-fed farm, and you physically go to the farm,
exactly.
They can say grass-fed cow, and they can leave it for the last.
It's just the idea of Louis wanting suicidal chickens.
Yeah,
it amused me.
I don't think they're conscious enough to. I feel like if that was me, I'd be, because I'm quite spiteful. So if someone went, you're getting raised to, die, I'd just die. I just eat and just annoy them.
You just clench hard enough. Yeah. The life just literally goes.
I just wouldn't eat or drink and just be like,
okay, fine.
Using my little wing.
So if it dies naturally, do they still use it for meat?
Yes.
Okay.
Do they?
Well, it depends what it died off.
Like, so you got a
Yeah,
thousand
if it's like a
chickens,
disease,
and one of them just died.
If it was like old age,
Well, they were like, we'll take that on early then. Well, I've one more point that we should finish
Then we
this
should
off.
finish out.
And I want to know both your opinions on this. So, if you're vegan, right? Can you still drink breast milk?
Yes. Wait, your mum's?
Anyone's. I mean, anyone's. Not in the street.
I feel like...
no.
I wouldn't say so either. I'd say no.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
The arguments around milk and stuff like that
Mm.
is consent.
True.
Yeah.
Because like I know a vegan, again I'm not going to say a name, who
Whisper
doesn't yeah, I know, who doesn't drink milk and stuff, and it's because the animal can't consent.
Yeah.
And also cows have to have had a child, right? To
Yeah.
produce milk, and the child's had to have been taken away from the cow.
Right.
Whereas breast milk is just a natural thing made specifically for you.
Yeah, but what if it wasn't consented then?
But that's a totally different argument.
That's just
isn't
like
it?
rape then, isn't it?
That's like
That's what we
assault.
do.
That's sexual assault.
But would you not think
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
Like, yeah, but a cow is allowing you to take their milk though. They're not like kicking you in the teeth every time you squeeze their udder.
I'd do that if I was a cow.
I feel like they're not up for it. They're not written a form. They're like signed it.
Yeah, I mean that goes into after consent. No, okay, fine.
So you're.
Okay.
Let
No,
me just
no,
say.
no, I don't think we should.
Louis' definition of consent.
Cut!
Louis' definition of consent is they ain't kicked you.
I was thinking because the cow couldn't be like.
It hasn't tried to bite my head off.
Yeah, I was thinking because the cow couldn't be like, yeah, you can squeeze on my teats. Like it would. I don't think because a cow would try and escape.
Right.
Yeah, but have you seen what they're literally in like a box about this
That's
big?
true. Alright, yeah, they would kick you then exactly.
Anyway, yeah,
Anyway.
I think breast milk's fine.
Okay, fine. That's.
If anyone's a
I'm forward.
vegan, I don't know if
But
anyone's
not
listening
fit
to
into
this.
Drink breast milk.
If anyone's a vegan, is breast milk okay?
Yeah,
I know it
tell
is, but just tell me I'm right.
You can also go. You can also go on our socials as well, and you
Vegans out there
yeah.
agree with him.
Also, that's not actually Louis' opinion on consent.
No, that's not my opinion. So you can on our socials. You can let us know on Twitter and things like that about anything you want to talk about. You can also ask Nathan advice. He'll be here in 2-3 weeks' time.
Yes.
Who can give you advice and everything.
Hopefully we'll have some polls.
Someone's
and
breaking
stuff.
my house.
I hope so.
No.
I swear I had the gate.
Yeah. Nah.
No.
Yeah, so you can let us know. We on our website as well when it comes up, but our website's up or not yet. We are talking about hands. We've got videos on there. We've got extra as well coming as well, which, like I said, Marvel stuff.
Lads, beer
All
wine.
different things. Oh yeah,
Yes.
beer. So Budweiser is genuinely one of my favourite beers. I love Budweiser.
It's quite easy to drink.
Yes, I love it cold. Also, you can't often get it on tap. I find Budweiser. I don't drink Budweiser a lot at home. It's quite a treat. I would never have it when I went out.
Bud.
Yeah.
We've had it in a restaurant once.
Yeah, we did have it in restaurants. Yeah.
Draft. I
On
can't remember
draft.
how good it was.
I can't.
But yeah, big fan of Budweiser. It's not. I wouldn't say it's nowhere near my favourite beer or anything like that. But it's safe.
Yeah, it's
Nice
I've heard
option.
of Foster's.
I
Foster's is
mean-
quite scummy what we had last week, but Budweiser's I think is quite premium. It's quite nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So
There we go.
original JP.
Are we sure no one broke into my house?
I'm going to be honest with you, it's not my house.
Alright, fair. Don't worry
No.
No?
Yeah. So on the bottle it says ronde and fruity, which is French for smooth and fruity. Store in a cool dark place.
Does it say that?
No, it doesn't. But I'm now gonna. It's habit. It's nice. Exactly what it said on the bottle.
Was it better than last
Wine.
week's?
Smooth and
It
fruity.
was Merlot.
Yeah. To be
Was
fair.
it better than last week's?
Yeah.
Was it?
Nah.
We should probably put a rating on our website maybe of all of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. Check our website. It's not out yet, but check it when it is.
Coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
It'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks or so. I just got to finish coding it.
Next week we are talking about the paranormal.
Thank you for watching this Guzzler video.